Hi guys, we love you. Chris Watts and the love letters. The love letters are out there, and I'm sure some of you have seen them and heard of them. From love-sick women. These women don't care what he has done, what he has been accused of, and what he has been found guilty of. They don't care. They love him. They want him to write back. Oh, yes, they do. See, the women are coming out the woodwork, and they have been before he was sentenced as well. So the love letters are out. Audio and photos are going to be released next week. I'm not sure when they're coming out, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But they will be released. And so, do we need to hear them or see them? I don't know. I don't know what kind of photos are coming out. So, and, all these leaks and everything. So, anyway, okay. The rumor has it that Nicole and maybe Cindy Watts might have a book deal, a movie deal out there. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, guys, Nicole, on one of her searches, searched Amber Fry. You know, the Scott Peterson? Oh, yeah, so maybe she thinks that she is this Amber Fry. She's in the same situation. Well, let me tell you, she's not in that same position. She's far from it. So she needs to be told about that. We got a lot of questions to ask this Nicole in her involvement in all this. Whether she put thoughts in a person's head, we don't know, and that's just my opinion. Like on the 21st of September, mother of Shannon, she had got a text saying that the back door was open of her daughter's home in Colorado. So officers went there to make sure that the home was secure, checked the windows and the doors, and made sure there was no forced entry. But later on, about nearly 8 o'clock, 1950 hours, the police had received another call saying the lights were on in the home, and the lights were not on earlier. So this time they gained entry and searched the whole home and made sure all the doors are locked and turned off all the lights and left. And, they checked the basement and, they checked the whole house. Just make sure nobody's hiding in there, trying to steal anything. You know how people are. They want a souvenir of some kind. And they want to see the crime scene. You know how people are. They'll do anything. And they saw some footage of some video showing an unknown woman walking to the front of the home. And she was not leaving. I don't know what she was doing. She's standing there just looking in, or was she leaving? Could this be Nicole? Trying to get in the doggy door? Hmm, you never know. I don't know if they got a timer on their lights in that house, but maybe a timer came on. You never know. Just a suggestion. Okay, Nicole stated one time that Chris was upset. And she was upset for the fact that Chris had mentioned that I guess he didn't like it because she had gone on dates or gone on a date with another man. Oh, yeah. Well, this woman's single. You don't own her. This is the kind of woman she is. We all knew that. But Nicole states that that's not right because, you know, otherwise he's a hypocrite. You know, a hypocrite. He's the one that's married, more or less. So we all know she knew he was married, because why would she say he was a hypocrite? Mm-hmm. So there's one lie there, but we all know she's lying anyway, and that's my opinion. So, they had this conversation about, he just shouldn't feel that way. And she also stated that, maybe you should make up with Shanann. Oh my God, I don't know what to call her anymore. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But you know what? Nicole states that it's a little fun for her. Hmm. Well, well. See, this Nicole's just having some fun and see where it goes. You know, a few free dinners off the gifts gift card. Yeah, okay. And some free hotel stays. Yeah, she's sure gonna get a lot out of this, man. Well, anyway, this Nicole, this woman, we all know she has stalked the Watts family for a long time on this internet searches. Oh yeah, she's obsessed. Obsessed. She's gotta be. She's been doing searches for months. For months. She probably knows this family more than anybody. She knows the ins and outs. She's she's going back 5 years. She's going way back. Way back. Well, if you're seeing a guy, I guess, and dating a guy, you really want to know about him. And the internet is very good to finding out stuff about people's past. But it's really not about that, though, is it? Because months ago, last year even, see, she was doing searches on his family and him as well. What job did they have? How much did they earn? She's kind of looking into, you name it, she's looking into it. Now I just call her a stalker. Oh yeah, she's a stalker, all right. Whatever definition. A stalker's a stalker. It starts off all like that, you know. So anyway, so I feel that she's obsessed with this man. And she needs to tell the truth, you know, 'cause she's some crazy woman too. You know, you want to meet this woman, watch out. That's all I'm saying. I think she could be a little dangerous. Anyway, watch your husband, guys out there. If you live nearby, watch your husband. 'Cause she won't care if you're married or not. She likes you, she's going for it, in my opinion. And she kind of reminds me of this Jodi Arias. You know the one. You know the one. She's coming to my mind. Very dangerous. Playing games, sex games, you know, and then lies about everything. Turns it around. You know, oh yeah, she might be single, but still, you mess around with a married man, and it's just not her fault. You know, it takes two to tango. And then she says, oh yeah, she told him to, you know, kiss and make up to his wife. Well, you know, you did say you didn't know he's kind of married. He was getting divorced. He was separated, all that. So why would you tell him to make up with his wife? I don't even know if that part's true, actually. Oh, I got heartburn. Mm. Well, she got this Nicole, because how kinky she is and everything like that. You know, she's into a lot of stuff, as we know, because we've seen it with our own eyes. The evidence is loud and clear, guys. Photos to go with it. You know, she's no innocent girl. Maybe she's some kind of cold girl, I don't know. But you know what? Whatever. She's got him hooked on her kinky sex acts. And she has showed him some fun. Oh, yeah. She showed him the wild side. The wild side. Anyway, so that's that. And then I read something else. Shannon texts Chris. I'm not sure when this text was sent out. If we didn't have kids, would you still want me? Why would Shannon text a message like that to her husband? If I didn't have kids, would you still want me? There's something seriously wrong with these two. Oh, yeah. You can't have it both ways, you know, have your cake and eat it too. You know, you gotta be nice. You can't be horrible. You can't, you know, one day be nice and the next day be horrible. Because you know what? That's called mental illness. Now, why would she text such a thing? You guys know why she would text that? I don't know. Maybe she's just trying to get an arousal out of him, you know, get an answer back, get him to text her back, get some text going, you know, getting chatting about them and not nobody else. Now this Nicole, I guess, she don't mind kids, but she's not looking for kids. She's not looking for another family to take on anybody else's kids, you know, by the sounds what she was saying. Well, that's okay, because not everybody, it's not for everybody. If you want a family, you want your own family. You don't want somebody else's kids, if that's what you're looking for. But don't mess with the married man that's got kids, for number one. Because there you go, that's strike one already, if that's not what you're looking for. But she also wants her own family. Yes, she really don't want anybody else's kids. And she wants her own family. And all that she was looking for on her searches, on the computer, and I don't know whose computer it was. Was it Chris Watts' computer at his house? Was it her home? Probably hers, I guess. Yeah, when she was looking for wedding dresses and told him to pawn his wife's wedding ring. Pawn his wife's wedding ring. Who says that? She's just saying it was all a little fun. He was just fun, trying to get him to go back to his wife and make up. But she's looking for wedding dresses, and she's, told him to pawn the ring. Well, maybe because he said he didn't have no money. So, if you ain't got no money and you got your rent due, sometimes you have to sell stuff that you can buy again later. I mean, a ring's a ring, but if you're not really together and you're separated, like Chris Watts said, they separated in end of March, early April. I mean, the man, what would they both separated? One thought they were separated, the other one didn't know they were separated, and you live in the same home to make it easier and co-parent like a lot of people do that find themselves in this situation until they can settle stuff. Sometimes if you can work it out that way, if you can live together. But the way they were going on, and Shannon was texting him and he was texting her, and they were going about like a married couple still. So that part, I can't understand that part. If I was living in the house with my husband and I was getting divorced, which I wouldn't be living with him if I was making that choice to get divorced. One of us is going, you or me. One of us is getting out the house. Because you can't go forward if you don't move out. So that's the truth about that one. But this Nicole keeps saying stuff like that. And of course, Chris keeps contradicting himself on statements that he's made. He, when he did that video on the press, on the TV news in Frederick, Colorado, he wasn't making no sense. He was rattling on. He was just rattling on. He just wasn't making any sense. Well, everything else don't make sense. This Nicole has looked up this family and done all this stuff, and look where they've ended up. The whole family's dead. And we don't really truly know why. We don't know why. Things are going forward for a divorce. He's saying to Shannon he wants a divorce. He's telling her he wants a separation. There ain't no talks. He's ready. He's made up his mind. He ain't changing his mind. She's trying to change his mind, promising she'll change, promising that she won't be the woman she was yesterday. And, God knows what else she was trying to say to trap him back into the marriage. I don't know. She thought she could say anything to Chris and he would do what she says. But he ain't that man no more. He's not that man anymore. He's a changed man. He's changed. And he changed for the worse. Because look where his family are. Look what he did. There's no change in his mind. He's ready to go forward. Ready to go forward. And we've seen the aftermath of it all. And I don't know why he ever thought he could get away with such an act. But maybe he wasn't trying to get away with it. He did what he did, and then maybe the kids wake up because, as we know, the kids are very light sleepers. I mean, my kids were heavy sleepers. You could just do anything around my kids. But her kids seem to be very light sleepers. Maybe, and this is just my opinion, I'm just trying to get some other thoughts going, like, what if? What if he's arguing with his wife? I mean, yeah, they're saying that he killed her while she was sleeping. I don't know if that really happened that way, but it probably happened in the bed. Happened in the bed. Which, by the way, Chris Watts says he didn't sleep with his wife. He sleeps in another room. When she's away, he sleeps in the master bed. But when she's there, he sleeps in the other room. But the bed's very uncomfortable. So, should he have been sleeping in that bed with Shanann that night? Was he? We don't know which bed he was supposed to be sleeping in that night. But you know what? Somebody pushed somebody's buttons. They pushed somebody's buttons that night and caused, and we know it happened after 2:30. It happened way after 2:30. Because you know why? Number one is Shanann was on the phone at 2:30 in the morning ordering hair color. That's why she wasn't dead at 2:30. And she wasn't dead straight in coming in the house. She had got up the stairs and done whatever. And she also had ended up in her bed. And she was in her night clothes. A t-shirt and underwear. So, that took time for her to go to the bathroom and do whatever she did. God knows what. So this is looking like it probably happened about 4 o'clock. I'm really thinking that this happened. Like Chris said, there's many a words he spoke the truth. He's lying, but he's telling the truth. He's saying all these things that he said on the news, but it was all true. They did have this argument. They did have this emotional discussion. 4 o'clock. Oh, yeah. And she was kind of in bed and kind of not in bed. That is true. I mean, and he never thought in his lifetime that anything like this would ever happen. Yeah, I think that's true. Everything he said, I really do think it was true. But he's lying at the same time. He's lying about their whereabouts, of course. You heard it all. So, and this Nicole, now if anybody can tell me, I don't know. She was single. She's divorced. She's married. She got kids. She don't have kids. She wants her own family. So this is all like, well, which is it? She's single. She got kids. She don't have kids. She got an ex-husband. But she goes about like she's a single woman with no kids and not got a husband. So I guess she was never married, never had a husband, and has no kids. At this point, I don't even know. But actually, they don't say she's got kids. That, I mean, in the reports, they don't say she's a married woman with 2 kids or anything. So I'm just thinking that, she's not married at all and had no kids. And that's what reports say about her. But there's more about her. And there's going to be plenty more about her coming out. She's a very suspicious character. Like I said, men, watch out. Women, watch out. Here she comes. You know who she is. Here she comes. Don't let her talk to your husband, because the next thing, it'll be Google eyes and she's hooked in. Because she probably got the talk. Mrs. Gabby. Anyway, this is where it gets you when you mess with a married man and cause a scene as what's happened. She don't have a job anymore. They canceled her contract to that oil company. Days later after Chris Watts was fired, let go, terminated, and she also was terminated. Don't bring the company down. They don't want all this crap involved with their company. So, this is what messing around with a married man gets you. Now you ain't got no job. Oh, but you also were looking on the internet to see if, cops can find your deleted texts. You know, if a woman ain't got nothing to hide, you don't need to get rid of anything. They're going to find out what the hell you've been doing anyway. So you best just leave everything on there. If you didn't kill anybody, then don't worry. You have nothing to hide from. If you didn't state, oh yeah, you're going to kill your wives tonight? Are you going to kill your kids tonight? If you haven't texted that, emailed that, anything like that, then she hasn't got nothing to hide. Then you don't need to erase anything. Because once you delete, erase, tries to cover your tracks, it looks like you got something to hide, which you do. Because we want to know what you were talking about. We want to know the facts. We want to know what you're talking about in the room, not on texts or emails. But we're not going to get that information. We certainly not. Now, I'll just tell you a little bit about cheating men because I got personal experience from it from a long time ago with my ex-husband. Now, this is what sneaky, conniving, lying, what? You think every woman likes you? Because this is the type of husband I had. If a woman came up to him and was talking to him, she wants me. Oh my God, she wants me. No, that's no exaggeration. That's how he was. I'm like, you're a lunatic. Because I said, oh, she's flirting with me. She wants me. No, she don't. She's just talking to you. Just because people talk to you in a nice way, it doesn't mean people want you. Okay? All right then. Anyway, when I first met him, I was in England and he's an American. So I don't know nothing about his family, nothing. I'm just getting to know him. I met him and I met him when I was sober. I was drinking water and I was at a nightclub. I didn't even touch any alcohol. And he got invited back to a party. So, and I said I didn't really want him coming back to the party. But anyway, he ended up coming back. So we went out on a few dates and stuff like that. And then months later, I find out that his wife has just had a baby in America. His wife's just had a baby. I didn't even know he's married, let alone she's pregnant and she's just had a baby. Oh, okay then. So I tell him, that's it. I'm done with you. If your wife is coming over here, or you plan on still being married, then I'm out of this relationship, which I was. I was out of it. And then a little while later, he went back to the States, got divorced, and said, I'm divorced now. He got his divorce. And then I dated him for 4 years. I didn't marry him. I dated him for 4 years. And then, anyway, in between this, I find out that he's had a couple more relationships with liking girls and everything. I'm like, this man is such a cheater. I don't know what to do. So anyway, it's coming time for me to pack up my bags and head for the United States of America. I've done all my paperwork. I've got my little girl. I've had a baby with him. But I don't really trust him because I really don't. I don't know what to do. But anyway, I did not get married to the last minute, 6 months before, because I was debating, shall I marry him? Shall I marry him? Shall I leave? Shall I leave? This is in my head. Now, I should have known better. But this was many years ago in 1988. Anyway, move along, move along. We get to United States, meet his mother, which I'd already met her. She came over to England. And go to the military base. It was in the military. We traveled around a little bit. And the next minute, I'm pregnant again. And next minute, I'm having all these vibes Like, something's going on, something's going on. Oh, yeah, something's going on. I knew it. Well, he's having an affair with an airman's wife, and somebody told me, because there are people out there that don't like that kind of behavior, especially if your wife's nice, or, you got kids, and especially the woman's pregnant, just having your baby, and stuff like that. Well, anyway, so he's doing it again. And not only that, a little bit later, my next door neighbor, because we lived on military homes, she sends a preacher man to me, a preacher man, and says, I need to talk to you. Such and such, your friend next door, she is worried about what you might think, and she has nothing to do with it. And she's very nervous, and she don't want him in her house anymore. I'm like, what do you mean, in her house anymore? Well, he keeps coming to the door, coming in for wanting coffee or something for a chat. And she said he's making advances on me. So here we go again, making advances. And then he's messing around with his other one. So anyway, you know what I did? I just had to think enough of him, and I reported him for something that he'd done. I made out a report, and this is where I felt myself, but I don't care. He got in trouble for messing around with the airman's wife. He gets in trouble for the other thing, and he gets kicked out. He gets kicked out the Air Force, all for a piece of what, all for a piece of what. He didn't want him. No, he didn't want him. But now I don't want you. So now you ain't got no job, no career, and you're gone. And then he says, you know, let's have another baby. I'm hearing this in Chris Watts' case, and all that and the other. Have another baby. Well, you see, I'm not having another baby. You see, I got enough sense to say, hell to the no. So, I do know a little bit about cheating husbands. They think they're so sneaky. He was following this girl up the stairs in my home, because this was Christmas, and I invited airmen over for Christmas and cooked for them. And I was due any day, but I still didn't. She's following him around my house. Well, you see, I got suspicions. You see, intuition. So I followed her up the stairs and I asked, what you following my husband around my house for? Oh, is this now? I said, no, get downstairs. You don't need to be following my husband around my home. Okay? And then, somebody's playing footsie under the table. So I say, and this is me, because I'm going to speak up. I say, oh, such and such, are you kicking? Are you moving your feet around, kicking? Are you kicking him, kicking her? They said, no, no. And I said, what, Aunt me? Oh, there's only two people left in here playing footsie under the table. And that was just a remark that I made to let them know you ain't fooling me. Anyway, I got divorced from him. Good riddance. And you know what? With his first wife, he did the same thing. With me, he did the same thing. And then he got married again. Now, this woman was crazy that he married. I mean, absolutely nutcase. A nutcase. A nutcase. Well, he cheated on her too. So you know what? These men that cheat don't change. Years and years later, they don't change, and they never will. Anyway, guys, comment and let's discuss this video. Thank you.